Okay, listen to this because things are getting absolutely wild. An IG model has come forward accusing Offset of something pretty serious. She claims he tried to use her to set up NFL player Stefon Diggs. The model, who goes by the name Jordan, shared a series of DMs between her and Offset on her Instagram stories, and now the internet is trying to decode every single line. She started by posting a message saying, "Offset keeps violating me, but stay on my phone asking to help set up Stefon. Please, super tender shrimp." That alone had people confused and curious. But then she added screenshots of their actual messages. In those messages, Offset allegedly wrote, "Oppa give drop or don't come back around." She responded with, "Make sure I'm nowhere near." He replied again, "Now?" Then she said, "Delete these texts." He answered, "Fa now send me." Now, a lot of people online were struggling to figure out exactly what these phrases meant and how they connected to the idea of setting up Stefon Diggs. The conversation is short and coded, so it's easy to misinterpret. But when you break it down, certain things start to make more sense. When Offset said Op A and A, it appears he was referring to her, almost like he felt she wasn't doing whatever task they had discussed earlier. And keep in mind, this is just one small piece of their conversation. It definitely sounds like these two had spoken many times before this moment, so we're seeing a tiny window into a much bigger situation. Then Offset wrote, "Give drop or don't come back around." That line sounds like he was demanding she share someone's location, basically saying, either you send me the drop or don't even bother coming back around here. His tone feels impatient, and honestly, it even comes across a bit threatening, at least based on what we can see from these messages. When she replied, "Make sure I'm nowhere near," it sounds like she was distancing herself from whatever he intended to do. Almost like she was saying, if you're going through with whatever plan you have in mind, keep me out of it completely. Some people online assumed Offset was trying to help set up Stefon Diggs with another woman so he could cheat. But honestly, when you look at her saying, "Make sure I'm nowhere near," that doesn't sound like a cheating setup at all. It feels like something heavier. Something that wouldn't involve her being physically present. It gives a different kind of energy, something that raises more questions than it answers. And again, this is all alleged. So when he says, now, that line could honestly be interpreted in a few different ways. There's no solid way for us to figure out what exactly he meant in that moment because only the two of them know the full context of their conversation. We're looking at a tiny fragment of a situation that was probably much bigger behind the scenes. Then she replies with, "Delete these texts." And he answers, "Fin now send message." Now, this part really stood out to people because it sounds like he's hinting that she should message him on his Finsta, his secondary private Instagram account, almost like he wanted whatever they were discussing to move somewhere more hidden, somewhere less traceable. It gives the impression that they needed to switch platforms or talk in a more discreet way. But here's the thing. Even with all of this, would any of it actually hold up in court? Honestly, no. Not based on what we can see. He didn't mention specific names, he didn't give enough detail, and the messages are way too vague. Unless she had stronger evidence beyond these screenshots, none of this would be strong enough legally. And just to be clear, everything here is alleged, including my interpretation. Nothing is confirmed, but things get even more intense because she also posted another set of messages between her and Offset. And this one looked like he was warning her, almost telling her she needs to be careful. She captioned it, "Tender off the bone," after posting the screenshots. In this thread, Offset wrote, "Get back, gang." She responded with a kissy face emoji. He then told her, "You should go back home to Tampa. You can't go nowhere here. Work nothing. You will see." She replied, "I'll be all right, boo." And he answered, "All owners." Now, that last part, all owners, he was confusing. It's hard to tell what exactly he was trying to say there, but the overall tone makes it feel like he was trying to intimidate her or warn her about something, which naturally raises the question, was he threatening her because she didn't do what he asked? Again, allegedly. And the timing of all this is what makes everything even more alarming. Because if you remember, not even 2 weeks ago, Cardi B went on Spaces and opened up about how deeply concerned she was about Offset's behavior. She admitted she was scared, genuinely afraid for her safety, because Offset had been acting in ways that were completely out of control. She said he was taking things to a whole other level, and she didn't feel safe around him anymore. So, when you put all of this together, the texts, the tone, the timing, it definitely creates a very unsettling picture. Even though everything remains alleged, the situation feels heavy.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Sometimes I sleep and I wonder, like, yo, this is not normal. You see crime documentaries, you see shit on social media about women getting killed the other day. And on the truth, like, it's like, I'm a real tough bitch. Like, I'm a tough bitch. But you can never, there's a difference between being tough, and there's a difference between somebody having an unhealthy obsession with you that you have to you gotta be concerned. And I'm really starting to be concerned. And I'm so tired because I want to detach myself from shit. And it's like, it just doesn't stop. And it's like, when does it fucking stop? I try to be nice. I try to contact family. I try to whatever. And it's not working. And I'm so tired. I'm really getting fucking so tired. I don't want to do things that's going to overshadow what I got going on. It's literally a fucking nightmare. And people think it's so funny. It's not funny. It's concerning. Dealing with somebody that fucking does substance and fucking start hurting me. It's not funny. I completely have moved on with my life. I don't respond to shit. I don't pray about shit. I am tired. I be trying to be the bigger person. Everything. Shit is not fucking funny. It's not funny. And y'all gonna see that shit is not funny. If I spread this shit out, y'all gonna be like, y'all might cry. This shit is not fucking funny.
And honestly, I agree with this 110%. There is absolutely nothing funny or entertaining about this situation. Like I've said before in another video, we see things like this far too often. Some men simply cannot handle hurt, rejection, or the loss of control. And when those emotions spiral, the outcome can become terrifying. We've watched real-life stories where an ex becomes violent, where a man can't handle a breakup and ends up harming the woman he once loved. Sometimes it's the ex-girlfriend, sometimes the mother of his children, and in the worst, most heartbreaking cases, even the kids. These situations can escalate in ways no one sees coming. Now, I'm not saying Offset would ever go that far, but I am saying we've seen enough examples to know how dangerous these emotional tipping points can become. The pattern is real, and the consequences can be devastating. And that's why this entire situation feels so unsettling. People online might try to brush off what this model is saying, like she's exaggerating or looking for attention. But honestly, I don't think any of it should be ignored. When you line up her claims with what Cardi B publicly admitted just 2 weeks ago, the picture starts looking very concerning. It throws out some very real red flags, and the worst thing anyone could do right now is pretend this is just drama. Hopefully, everything gets resolved peacefully. Hopefully, nothing escalates. But at the very least, Offset needs help. He's clearly heartbroken over losing Cardi, and that pain didn't come from nowhere. It came from his own actions. He cheated on her repeatedly. He hurt her deeply, and he didn't show her the respect she deserved. When you keep messing up over and over, eventually the consequences catch up to you. But even with all of that, the solution isn't anger or chaos. It's healing. Offset needs counseling, he needs therapy, he needs professional help to deal with whatever emotions he's carrying, not just from the breakup with Cardi B, but from everything else he's been burying inside. Because if he doesn't work through it, it could lead him down a darker path. And nobody wants that.
Harassing her, and it's very much so giving Offset is obsessed, and this just further proves it. So first off, shout out to the Daily Hip Hop Tea, because this is where I first seen the story. If you go ahead and look at my repost, you can go watch their video. But like, yeah, so apparently an IG model came out and released proof that Offset has been trying to get her to set up Stefon Diggs. Like, that is weird, and that is sick AF. Like, Offset has been harassing Cardi for the longest. You harassed her throughout her whole pregnancy. Now that she has had a beautiful baby boy, you're still harassing her. Like, I just don't understand it. What makes it even more sick is when you realize the fact that they're getting divorced, the fact that they broke up, the fact that they are not together is because Offset habitually cheated on Cardi. And now that she's moved on, finally, you doing all this, like, you need help. Like, you're sick. Like, it's very much so given, like, I don't want you, but I don't want nobody else to have you. Which, girl, like, that is really scary when you sit and think about it. Like, and look how Stefon looks at it. I just love this for Cardi. I love this for Cardi. I love not the whole situation with Upset, because that is wild. Like, this whole situation is so crazy. And it's giving, put them in a straight jacket, put him in a 5150 hole, put him in somebody's psychiatrist chair, and with the straight jacket. He's off his rockers. Not Offset, off rockers. Like, you're crazy. But then again, whew, good Lord, I see why you upset. Look at, like, I see why you mad. Like, baby, the good Lord took his time with Stefon Diggs. That is one gorgeous man. Like, finger licking good. But no. Like, I definitely pray for Cardi. Like, I pray that God keeps, his hand over her kids, her new baby, like, stuff like that whole situation. Because this is real. Like, it's scary. Like, it's scary. Like, I remember earlier in the year, when Cardi was saying how Offset had, like, threatened her friends and was like, I think he either talked about or did get one of her friends touched. Like, it's just, like, a lot with this man. And I don't know, men are just, like, it don't, like, you ruined this. You messed this up. And you really, like, harassing and antagonizing this girl because she finally had enough and she's happy. And wow. I really, really, really wish more men in the industry would speak out. Not men like Joe Budden, who said Cardi moved on to, like, not men like the real men in the industry would speak out against stuff like this. Because this is really sick. And no shade at this point, if Stefon went ahead and made a call, or Cardi went ahead and made a call, and whatever happened, like, it would be justified. They wouldn't be in the wrong. Because, like, sit and think about this. Just sit and think about, like, really think about this. This is really scary. Like, it's really scary for a woman to go through something like this. Like, for real, for real.
Model claims Offset wanted her to set up Stefon Diggs. So you got this IG model exposing her and Offset's DM messages. I'm starting to believe some of these celebrity dudes is slow, because how many times is these joints gonna expose these niggas' messages before they stop messaging these joints?
At the end of the day, this whole situation is a reminder that real life isn't a joke, and people's emotions can push them into dark places if they never learn to deal with their hurt. Whether it's Offset, Jordan, or even Cardi B, everybody involved here is carrying their own pain, their own frustration, and their own truth. But ignoring the warning signs never ends well. When someone starts acting unpredictable, when messages start sounding threatening, when the people closest to them say they're scared, that's not drama. That's danger creeping in quietly. So before this turns into another tragic headline, let's hope someone steps in. Let's hope Offset gets the help he desperately needs. Let's hope Cardi stays protected, and let's hope that everyone involved finds clarity before things spiral. Because situations like these, they don't just disappear, they build, they grow, and if nobody pays attention, they explode. And honestly, I just pray this one doesn't.